Hey people, I'm here with my friend Daniel. Well, actually, I met him on Zdenek's Discord server, but he has a podcast, which is my Fluent Podcast. He's also an English learner, and he's an amazing person, very friendly, sympathetic, and he comes from a very ugly country, Switzerland. Of course, I'm being ironic. Daniel, welcome to the channel. I think it would be nice if you can tell us your story.
Thank you very much, Rod. It's a pleasure to be here on your YouTube channel. And well, yeah, let's begin. I am a very passionate English learner, and my passion began back when I was about 17 years old. I had English classes at school, but the issue was that I was not able to speak fluently, right? Because we only learned a lot of grammar and stuff. And after that, I decided to make something to become fluent on my own, right?
Yeah.
Because I felt like I have hit an intermediate plateau.
Mm-hmm.
And then this idea came up to produce my own podcast in English.
Mm-hmm.
So that I was kind of forced to speak in English and to get better, right? Because
Yeah.
back then I didn't know anybody who I could practice with.
Uh-huh.
And so this was the beginning of my Fluent podcast.
I agree with you because I don't know if you know, but I teach English for over 25 years now. I have to get out of my comfort zone every day because I don't teach my native language. It is a challenge for me to get out of my comfort zone every day and teach English. I think for you it's the same, right?
For me, it's pretty much the same because I consider myself an introvert,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for
Yeah.
me, even when I am speaking in my mother tongue, I don't feel comfortable in every situation, right? So I am more a bit silent sometimes, right? So for
Yeah.
me, this was like an opportunity to open up and to get in touch with people from all over the world. And it's just amazing. It's really amazing to see all these people and to talk with them, and I love it. I love it.
You told me that you are still an English learner. I can say that your podcast is amazing. Your content is really good. What made you decide to do this?
First of all, I have to say that I am a podcast lover myself. So this was my resource number one when I was learning English. I listened to hundreds of hours of different podcasts.
Yeah.
And on my very first episode, which I produced in 2016, I
Wow.
was not able to speak freely, so I had to write down every single word. So it was like a monologue, right?
Yes.
And it was very artificial, kind of.
Yeah.
So what I like the most when I'm podcasting is actually a method which, well, I tell it, I name it like that, a method, because there was one episode in which I talked about getting better in English by interviewing other people, right? So this was like a method. This is my favorite thing when
Mm-hmm.
I'm podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
That means when I am having guests, this is something that I really like to hear the listener story,
Yeah.
or to hear the expert story, right?
I love the interviews as well. Of course, that on my channel, I teach a lot of things. I have a lot of segments, but I love doing the interviews because it seems to me that the person who accepts to have an interview with you or to do an interview with you, they strip down, they let their guards down. And it's amazing. That's why people ask me, are you preparing the questions? I say, no, it's totally organic, because I think it wouldn't be natural enough if we had the questions written. Of course, there are a lot of people who like to write the questions before, but I don't. I just like to get the things that you are saying to have other questions, if you know what I mean. Are you the same?
I completely agree with you because then, yeah, it's natural, right? And for me, it's also a better practice, right? Because it's like having a conversation in real life. And yeah, it's more natural and it's just amazing.
And I think that when people decide to watch your content or your interview or your podcast, they are paying attention to it. They don't get distracted by anything else because they decided to watch that, if you know what I mean. I don't know if you agree as well, but that's the idea of the interviews on my channel.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I really love your interviews.
Thank you so
It's
much.
right up my alley. It's really amazing how you conduct them.
People tell me that they like the way I do the interviews because I don't know if you know that, but Brazilians wear their hearts on their sleeves. So I'm not afraid to say what I feel, or if I feel emotional, I tell that I am emotional. If I'm nervous, I tell that I'm nervous. I don't worry about that. And there are people who are a little bit afraid of showing their emotions, but I don't know if it's because of my disability. Since I was born, I don't mind talking about anything, but it's really natural to me, to tell, oh, this is really great. Oh, I am a little bit nervous. Oh, I feel emotional, or I don't have any problems showing my emotions, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I completely know what you mean because you also interviewed like your idols, right? So this was amazing, and you were nervous a little bit, and I was with you because I did the same. I
Yeah.
interviewed one of my favorite podcaster
Hmm.
some years ago, and I was so nervous. So it's incredible. But
The worst thing is when you are interviewing someone that you really like and you are not interviewing them in your own language. That's even worse. Although I speak English every day and I teach long hours, when you get nervous, it gets in the way, So sometimes you have to stop a little
yeah,
bit and breathe again and ask the question. But that's amazing. What is the difference
yeah,
of a non-native English teacher and a native English teacher for you?
I think that a non-native teacher needs to do 5 times the work or 10 times the work compared to a native
Mhm,
teacher. So I have a lot of respect for that, right? And
mhm.
to me, it doesn't matter if a teacher is native or non-native. For me, there are other things that matter, right? So that doesn't mean if a teacher is bad or is good. This has nothing to do with that. So so that is my opinion. But I
Awesome.
know that there are prejudices in this world, and not all the people think like that.
Awesome. Have you ever thought you would come this far with your podcast?
No, absolutely not.
And
This
how
is a
do you
great
feel?
question.
And how do you
Because
feel?
how I feel, I feel very proud now because I could continue for about 4 or 5 years with it. And I have to say that even though the statistics doesn't matter, but in the end, it it makes me proud nevertheless, right? Because because there are about,
I
I don't
agree.
know, 60 or 70,000 downloads, and
Oh,
I began just as an English learner. I couldn't speak at all, right? So I could really do something because I was very passionate about it.
I feel the same. I think we think so much alike about things. And I started this YouTube channel 8 months ago or so. I feel like just the way you describe it. I've always been an English teacher and I've always loved English, but I never knew it would interest people by telling my stories, mostly by interviewing people. It's amazing to be talking to you right now because I know people around the world and I can tell their stories. And this is amazing. And I feel so grateful to have people like you, for example, that I'm talking to right now, mostly in these pandemic times. So I really appreciate that you're here talking with me right now as well.
Yeah, it's really great, and I think that people can see your passion, right? And it's contagious, and it's so lovely and beautiful. So it's an inspiration, right, for the learner.
Thank you so much. Now, people, we are going to the part that everybody loves most, which is the rapid round game. Daniel, I'm going to begin, all right? Podcast is
The best thing.
English learning is
Amazing.
becoming a famous podcaster is,
Is not my goal.
but you are getting famous. Life for me
Is everything.
right, awesome. My favorite movie is
Pulp Fiction came to mind, but I should think it over.
I love Pulp Fiction as well, by the way. Now you can ask me the questions, my friend.
Your favorite food is,
The typical Brazilian staple food, rice and beans.
and your favorite book is
My favorite book, that's a hard one. The Hate You Give,
Coronavirus Made Me.
afraid, very much afraid. I'm so afraid. I don't
Is,
leave my
is
house
there,
for 1 year
whoa, that is crazy.
because of my disability. I can take very strong medicines if I need them, you know?
Oh, I see.
YouTube and classes and students are the things that had me sane up until now. But I'm going strong. I'm still going strong.
Yeah, we are lucky that we have the internet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I agree. I totally agree.
My favorite language is
English. Daniel, for every guest, I have a sentence, a quote, a takeaway. For you is your podcast is amazing. Keep going strong. Keep bringing those cheerful contents that you bring. I love the intro that you do. Whatever you need me for, I'm here.
Thank you so much, Rod. I am flattered, and thank you very much for your kind words. And it was a pleasure to be on your channel. It's really cool, and keep going with your channel, and it's just amazing.
I will. I am a work in progress and I'll always be. So I'll try to always do my best. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here with me. People, this was my friend Daniel from my Fluent Podcast. Check him out. I'm going to put everything in the description. The guy's amazing. See you soon. Bye-bye, guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.